everybody, welcome back to Supra V World. We've got a really exciting day. I get to announce some products. I've been working so hard on these and finally I've got enough made completed in order to sell to you guys. So let's take a look at them. First of all is the twin turbo manifold. So this is made of 3mm mild steel, so it's really durable, nice thick welds, and it fits absolutely perfect. Now fitting is completely perfect on this thing, so right about here you've got your master cylinder if you've got a manual, and this misses this completely. I've measured everything. It misses down here your engine mounts, everything will clear. This one here is designed to run in parallel. You can see there's no through pipe. I've also built one that has a through pipe connecting through here, and that is for sequential twins if you want to run the sequential twin turbo mode, but you'd probably need a GTE engine loom or engine harness to do that one. These are stock twins. I'm also going to make a little adapter that fits on here, and you can buy cheap eBay CT20 turbos, brand new ones, for like 180 Australian dollars or even cheaper American, and bolt them onto there and have brand new turbos, just as another option. I haven't got the intake manifold on at the moment. Instead I've got on the ground to show you. So right here, of course, there's the adapter. So here's the adapter sitting right in here. These are 170 Australian bucks, and they come with all the bolts. All the bolts are completely customized for you. There's studs that you've got to do in here. I'll have instructions of how to fit it. I have run this thing up to 60 psi and it does not leak at all. So rest assured there is no leaks in this. It's absolutely perfect. I nearly blew the gauge off here. So it really does run high pressure. It does not leak. That was my main concern. You do not need gaskets with it. No gaskets needed, which saves you a lot of money, because you would have to buy a GTE gasket for one side and a GE gasket for the other side, which turned out to be quite a lot of money, and also it caused it to leak. I couldn't get the thing to work, so I took out the gaskets and I used 3Bond or the Permatex gasket maker, and that sealed it absolutely perfect, and it runs really high pressure. So don't use any gaskets with it. You don't need to go and waste money on that. The coil-on plug setup here, I'm not finished this yet, but you can see the beautiful bracket that I've made. Beautiful bracket through here. I'll sell the coils with it as well, and a wiring loom with it also. Up here, this here is a dual cam sensor system that I have nearly finished. Of course, this is just a prototype right here. It looks all messy, not cut out, but that will all be finished in about a week's time. I am also running that in conjunction with, believe it or not, a way to run the stock GE oil pump is going to go on there, and I've made a wheel with teeth on it that'll run, and all you simply have to do is drill a hole and I will put a crank sensor mount into the GE pump. So that's something to really look forward to. You don't have to waste all the money buying the bottom crank pulley that has the teeth on it, and you also won't have to buy a GE pump. You just buy a GE pump, and I'm still working on that. I've got to test that before I can sell that one. Let's have a look at the single turbo manifold. So this one here's the single turbo manifold, and you can see again it's really rigid. I've put a massive big wastegate outlet in there. This will take anything from a 45 up, but the diameter of this is big enough to take a 50mm wastegate, so it's plenty big enough. And also you'll notice it's right in the center, right opposite where all the flow comes through to the turbo, so it will equally go straight into the wastegate outlet, which is extremely important for not getting boost creep. So even though it's a log style manifold, I really think this is going to do well. I'm going to try and test this to over 650 horsepower. Basically, yes, you've got these two ports here going into the 38mm, but then I step it up a size right here, which is going to increase the flow towards the center of the manifold. So the tubing is larger right here. And then of course it will release straight into the turbine housing of the turbo, or straight into the wastegate, so there's no restriction of flow anywhere there. I think it's an amazing design. I can't wait to see what I can get out of this. This one is pretty cheap as well, 490 Australian dollars, and that'll be with a V-band wastegate flange welded onto there as well. You can just tell me the size of the flange that you want on there. If you don't tell me, it'll just come with a 45mm. So basically like a Turbo Smart style 45mm wastegate flange that goes on there. Here I've got a TurboSmart Hypergate 45, so 45mm external wastegate, and you can see this is the flange that comes with them. It'll fit straight on there and it's a perfect fit for the pipe. And then this sits on here. So yes, the head's running right here, of course, and this sits above it. This is what I really like about this. Insert goes in here. Put that on there. And then your dump pipe's going to come back here. Your dump pipe's going to come out of here, and this is going to follow straight along. The dump pipes that I will make, I will have a flexi joint in here, and as the dump pipe comes down, I will curl it underneath and give it a good bit of distance until it rejoins, just so you don't get back pressure going back into the turbo from the wastegate. It's also about simplicity. So again, you can get straight at your beautiful TurboSmart wastegate sitting up there. It's not going to bake your valve covers either, because you're only getting exhaust gas going through here when this is bleeding off exhaust. So if anything, it's actually blocking this hot pipe from the head anyway. All in all, it's just a really nice, simplistic, tidy looking setup for fast spool. Everything's about fast spool. I would prefer to have faster spooling turbos and lose 200 horsepower. So instead of having 1,000 horsepower, I would go with 650 horsepower, but have it straight off the bat as soon as the rev range starts, if you know what I mean. So I think this is a really, really good setup. I like it a lot. Again, there's options for me to weld a T4 outlet onto here. This is a T3 on here right now, and this is sort of the turbo that I've designed this for. So really quick responsive spool, no lag, and this is a GT3582R style turbo. So the Garrett GT35 series, again, it's for quick spool. This is just a 0.82 housing on the front here, and your GT35 compressor housing. So all designed for really good drivability. This is not going to 1,000 horsepower. This is for more drivability and just a really good simplified budget but professionally done way in order to boost your NA Supra or SC300 or Altezza into an absolute power machine. I'm just so happy with what the outcome has been with this engine so far. I better just reassure you all that I'm not a hillbilly backyard cowboy making turbo manifolds to sell to you. I was professionally trained, and when I was a teenager I worked in a high performance muffler manufacturing place, and I was making turbo manifolds way back then. So I learned to weld and I learned how to do it, taught by professionals. So this is not just some cowboy idea that I've popped out of my head and made something up. I am professionally taught of how to do all this stuff, so please trust in the products. All the surfaces are nice and flat, and everything will fit and everything will work really well. The color of these manifolds will not stay like this. This is a ceramic coated paint, but it's only going to withstand 1,000 degrees, but it will fade, definitely. There's no paint that's going to stand up to this. Even if I made these of thick walled stainless steel, they're still going to dull after just a couple of days of use. Mild steel, in my honest opinion, is the best material to make the manifolds out of because, well, number one, it keeps it nice and cheap for you guys. Yes, if I was building a show manifold, I would have made it of stainless, but there's really no benefit. In fact, steel expands and contracts much better than stainless, which is prone to cracking. So you can get away with a bit more with mild steel. It's easier to work with, and it doesn't buckle as much either. It doesn't warp. So this is TIG welded. I've got a little bit of MIG welding on there as well, but it's mainly TIGged, and it is a very durable manifold. You really can trust in these. They're a good product, and I will pressure test them as well. Each and every one of these I will put on with a blanked off shelf here. I'll put compressed air into it and make sure that there's nothing leaking from either side of the flange here or the turbo flange side. You will need to use your stock gaskets that go to here. You could probably reuse this multi-layered steel ones that you've probably got on your engine already, or best to buy new ones. The studs, the head studs that come on the GE head are really, really long. They're ridiculously long. So I will send with the manifold some replacement studs. You don't have to replace the two end ones, of course, but I will send enough to replace the ones that are needed. And you simply join two nuts together and then wind that stud out of the head and put the grub screw, or the stud, grub screw is the official name, that I supply back into the head, and then this will fit in nice and easy and the studs or the grub screws won't hit on the manifold. I kept this nice and compact. It's all about simplicity. So please be reassured that I've taken a lot of measurements in order to clear everything and to make sure that this isn't going to intersect with anything, and fitting is down to a fine art. So I've really spent good time on this. It will fit and it will work very well. Also, to run your oil lines down, look how easy this is. I mean, you simply just run your oil line to the top, the water goes in and out of here, and you've got no pipe work underneath here now, and you can just simply run that -10 line straight down to your oil drain. In the future, I will have more products. I will have on my site a return line for this one and the twin turbos, one that hooks up to the stock lines off the stock GTE twin turbos. I'll have a line that goes around to the other side of the engine. Those are coming soon. Also dump pipes. I will eventually make up dump pipes for this manifold for a standard size GT35 turbo like this. And I'll also make up a dump pipe to make the stock twin turbos a lot lighter, because they can get pretty heavy. Remember, if you are using it in the sequential mode with the stock twin turbos, then you're going to have to use that stock dump pipe because it has the flap inside it that activates the sequential system. I don't think many of us are going to be running the sequential system though, so I will make up a nice big dump pipe down. For those people that are running the stock ECU, I will also make one with a 2-inch restrictor in there because you don't want to overspeed the turbos. And a 2-inch restrictor will do that for the JDM stock twins. Here you can see all the gaskets. These gaskets are made of stainless steel, and I've got two for the CT20s that will come with your manifold, or for your T3 style single turbo manifold, there's these ones here. And just simply bang those on and you're away laughing. Remember with these adapters that it will sit 35mm further out from the engine and 35mm higher. So you want to measure your engine bay, but it will fit definitely under an SC300 or SC400, and it does fit under the Supra, but it's very, very close. It does even touch on the sponging, the cloth underneath the bonnet. You may need to cut a little hole in that padding, and there's a cross-section bar that goes underneath the bonnet as well. If you feel nervous about it potentially touching on that, you could modify that, and I'll take you through that on a video as well. Fitting instructions for these ones, it's a little bit tricky to fit them. You've got to pay careful attention to the instructions, and I'll have a full video as to how to fit those as well. Remember, do not use the gaskets. Use gasket maker, so RTV, the 3-bond grey, or the Permatex grey. RTV is the sealant that you use. You don't need to splash out on any gaskets, just a simple little tube of RTV. So folks, I'm so excited to have these out now. Please see the link below. SupraVworld.com is my new website or store, so you can buy these things online. So go down, take a look. All the information you need to know is down there, and you can go ahead and buy them. Remember, you guys in the US or somewhere else in the world, our dollar is pretty weak, so even though they might seem high priced, just wait till you get to PayPal and you'll see the money get really cut down, because US bucks are a lot more powerful than the Australian dollars. Postage might seem like a little bit, but again, the US bucks will go a long way. So happy shopping, folks. Remember, a lot more products to come next week, and I'll be really excited to get that triggering system, the cam and the crank triggering system, all finished by next week. So folks, thanks so much for watching this one. As usual, my name is Clayton Carlisle. This is Supra V World. I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.